Okay, this is my Cyclekart. I built it a couple of years ago. It's based on an ERA from 1934. Originally the ERAs were an English small company producing racing cars, very successful, and I chose to do an ERA because I wanted to do something that was British, and they have a great reputation. And the other thing that made me go for an ERA is that the proportions of it and the shape of it lent itself to doing the Cyclekart build based on the Stevenson formula. The chassis is made from a steel box section, which is 3 inches by 1 inch, and these are the chassis rails at the front. The body, the main body, is made from plywood and ash, which is then clad with aluminium panelling, with the exception of the tail, which is glass fibre on the top. The wheels are all from Honda mopeds, Honda Cubs, and are adapted to fit on the axles for this vehicle. Under the hood we have a Honda GX200, engine usually used for pumps and generators and go-karts to some extent. This particular one has a 2-to-1 reduction gearbox in here, which and an automatic automatic clutch in an oil bath. This engine is stock as it came out of the box, with the exception that I've disconnected the governor to allow it to rev higher, and I've put a little exhaust outlet on here, which is to duct the exhaust gases out of the rear tail, because to get the heat out of the tail, because it's in an enclosed environment, to try and avoid it from overheating. Okay, under the bonnet, instead of a nice 2-litre engine, you've got you can see this is a very simple go-kart style steering and simple controls. This is the brake, which is controlled by rods here which run through to the rear to a disc brake at the rear, and the throttle here, straightforward. This here is an indicator to show the caster angle I've got on the front axle, and I've made markings on the chassis here so that it can be adjusted to tune it into the best to get the best handling at the front. And also it shows me if it takes a knock and it moves, I can see straight away that it's no longer in line, and you can see you can actually see it sort of is all governed a lot by the suspension travel. The front springs come from America, and they are buggy seat springs, and they come in pairs which lock together, and these ones are the outers, where the spring sits around the outside, and the other half of the pair slides up the inside. So yeah, I can show you the steering wheel if you like. It's one of my favourite parts. I made it from aluminium flat, and I turned the boss up out of some stock, and then it's got a wooden rim made from 2 skins of plywood, glued and screwed, and then wrapped in string. The string wrapping process was very hard, very difficult. I thought I could do it in one, but it takes many yards of string to do this tiny little wheel, and many knots later I gave that up and just did it in sections and joined it where I could. But now it's done, to find a couple of coats of varnish to stop it moving. I'll show you my handbrake. This is the brake operation here. You just put your foot on the brake, and there you go. And then when you want to go, don't forget to take it out.